Tonight on Connecticut's news station, a broken bridge divides a community. Residents sharing frustrations over the reoccurring issue.
Even the most experienced boater, especially if you're paddling, you can get worn out.
Plus, water safety, why crews are warning of unsafe conditions tonight.
The Connecticut Department of Health issuing a fish advisory for the rivers statewide. What you need to know before you even think of eating the fish.
A wet start to the weekend, but it's not a washout. We'll time out the rounds of rain so you can make the most of the weekend coming up.
And more play at the Travelers Championship. We have live team coverage of all the festivities ahead.
Now at 6, this is Fox 61, Connecticut's news station.
Good evening, and thank you for joining us for the Fox 61 News at 6. I'm Jen Bernstein.
And I'm Ben Goldman. An exciting week of golf at TPC River Highlands. The Travelers Championship well underway.
And Fox 61's Brent Harden is standing by live in Cromwell, where the second day was full of fun and festivities. We'll get to all of that in a moment, but first we do want to get to some of our top stories here.
Enfield fire officials have called off their search after reports of somebody jumping into the Connecticut River. Still, officials responding to an influx of calls from kayakers putting themselves in danger on the water.
Now they're issuing an urgent warning. Stay out of the Connecticut River. Fox 61's Samaya Hernandez is live at the boat launch in Enfield to explain. Samaya.
Yeah, Jen and Ben, the river may be serene and peaceful looking, but it can fluctuate from 2 feet to 35 feet around here. And after recent rain, it is higher and moving faster than usual. There aren't a lot of homes along Connecticut's namesake river. Jeff Travis just closed on one.
It's always changing. There's always something new. The wildlife, it's quiet, it's relaxing, peaceful.
2 days into summer, eager boaters ready to set sail along the Connecticut, but choppy weather creating a choppier river.
Even the most experienced boater, especially if you're paddling, you can get worn out very, very quickly and get tired. And current can take you down the river very, very quickly and fast. So,
have you had that happen?
Kinda, yes.
Days after heavy rain, a current once carried Travis's kayak away.
It's a struggle to try and get back up to the river if you want to get back to. I've even had to wait along the bank.
Recent rain contributing to a high-running, fast-moving, debris-filled Connecticut River. Enfield fire officials now urging people to stay out of rivers and streams until water levels normalize. But late Thursday night, 2 people on the Suffield side of the river reported seeing someone jump off the Route 190 bridge.
We have high-tech equipment, so if there's something in the water, we usually can find it.
A distress call authorities take extremely seriously. Multiple departments searching overnight with infrared devices, and again at dawn, launching 3 boats from 2 launches, flying drones off the bridge, scouring 500 yards.
We're just covering every little spot here on the river, and hopefully it's not a true statement, and we're just out here looking for nothing.
Fire officials concluded that search around noon today. No one was found, but if you are heading out on the water, be sure to wear a life jacket, carry a whistle with you, as well as a flashlight if you get stuck in the dark. Live in Enfield, I'm Samaya Hernandez, Fox 61, Connecticut's news station.
All right, Samaya, thank you. Well, new tonight, one person was injured after being pistol whipped during an armed robbery in Bloomfield. It happened just before 4 a.m. at a business on Toby Road. The victim told police that 3 masked suspects robbed him and then hit him with a pistol. The victim also told police the suspects fired shots at the building and ran off into the woods. Police say one person was detained on the scene but has not been charged. Anyone with any information should call police.
For the second time this month, the Grand Avenue Swing Bridge carrying cars over the Quinnipiac River in New Haven is closed. The closure causing a headache for some drivers and a dip in business for surrounding shops. Fox 61's New Haven County Bureau reporter Julia LeBlanc joining us now live near that bridge. Julia.
Hi, Jen. Good evening to you. Now, that headache is also being felt by city leaders because they just spent millions repairing the swing bridge. Now, you can see it has been closed to drivers since Wednesday. It is open to bikers and walkers. It's the second time this has happened in a matter of 3 weeks. And because of that, business owners like the man who owns Grand Vin here are fed up with the problem.
I like what I do. I like who I do it with.
Just before you cross the Grand Ave Swing Bridge from Fairhaven, you'll see Ben Tortora's business.
I've been successful for 20 years, even though there were things that try to stop me from being successful.
One of those things is the Swing Bridge, the main artery connecting Fairhaven to Fairhaven Heights. It moves for boats to pass, and when it's back, cars, walkers, and bikers can pass. It was just reopened last January after millions of dollars in repairs. During that time, it was closed for 2 years.
Immediately, I'm affected by no true traffic. No vehicles are coming this way for any reason.
Since it reopened, the bridge has closed twice for long-term repairs. The second time happened on Wednesday. That's when city leaders say a gear that locks the bridge in place broke.
This could take some time to fix. We're asking for folks' patience, and as you can imagine, I too am frustrated because it's the second time this has happened in the last few weeks.
But Tortora wants more communication from the city.
You immediately put up signs saying bridge closed, but also on that sign it should say retail store open.
When it was first closed on Wednesday, drivers were confused.
It was atrocious.
The city says they did send an alert to the surrounding neighborhood, but Tortora says most of his customers aren't from here.
I don't have the answer. I don't know. I surely didn't talk to anyone either, because no one's walked to my store to discuss it.
Now, we spoke with the engineer with the city of New Haven, and he says that they are working on a temporary fix right now to try to figure out a way to get cars over this bridge as they wait for that part from the bridge to come in. He says no timeline on that, but expect an update on that temporary fix, he says, sometime early next week. We're live here in Fairhaven. Julia LeBlanc, Fox 61, Connecticut's news station.
Tough situation for all there, Julia. Thank you. All right, to the weather watch now, Rachel. And a warm start to the weekend, but it's going to come with some rain.
I think Rachel might be the only person who's happy to see a little bit of rain today. She's been saying it's going to rain. Well, it finally came.
Yeah, yesterday was awful, an awful forecast. It was a beautiful day. Today, we're back on track. So we had a passing shower. We still have one out there in spots, but mostly dry. Tomorrow, it looks like the rain will fill in a bit more in the morning, and we're never going to really get rid of the rain entirely in the forecast for the next week or so, but there will be plenty of dry time in between, and this weekend is not a washout. 75 right now in the Hartford area, close to 70 in New Haven, and we still have a couple showers that are out there, mostly in northeastern Connecticut, so we'll zoom in and get a closer look. Brooklyn, Killingly, and Pomfret all seeing some showers. A raindrop right now in Enfield. Most of the rest of the evening is dry, but as we head towards daybreak tomorrow, we might see some steadier rain fill in. Temperatures right now are generally in the 70s, although upper 60s right now, a little bit rain cooled in Waterbury. Overnight lows dipping back only into the 60s, so gone are those refreshing, kind of comfy overnight lows. A wet start to the day tomorrow, but we're going to try to dry things out as the afternoon progresses. See some sun, only an isolated shower chance in the afternoon. Your full weekend forecast coming up.
All right, Rachel, thank you. New details tonight about a fire in the capital city from earlier this week. Police now say a father and his teenage son died in that fire. Police say 36-year-old Jose Gonzalez and his son, 13-year-old Jose Gonzalez Jr., were killed when flames broke out at their home on Bulkley Avenue early Monday morning. Gonzalez's wife and 4-year-old son survived. The cause of the fire is still under investigation.
A third person has been arrested in connection to a street takeover in Meriden that happened last month. Jareed Weimer is now facing charges after he was seen on video jumping on the hood of a police cruiser during the takeover back on May 6th in the parking lot of the Lowe's on East Main Street. Police say Weimer also had an active warrant for his involvement in a similar incident in another town. Two others, Tatiana Ortiz and Sean Mills, were previously arrested for their alleged involvement in the takeover.
After the search for the missing tourist sub came to a tragic end, we're learning more about why and how this disaster unfolded. Officials say a catastrophic implosion likely happened 1 hour and 45 minutes in the trip down to the iconic shipwreck and instantly killed all 5 passengers on board. This after a remote-operated vehicle found pieces of the Titan just 1,600 feet away from the Titanic site.
It just implodes in, the pressure gives in, and it's the deeper you go, the more pressure. It's 44 pounds per square inch per every 100-foot change.
Coast Guard officials say that they'll continue to investigate the debris field as they try to now piece together a timeline of what exactly happened. While the search took place for the sub, a naval acoustic system may have picked up the vessel's fatal implosion days ago. The U.S. Navy confirms it detected, quote, an anomaly consistent with an implosion or explosion in the general vicinity of where the Titan submersible was operating when communications were lost. Moving now to the Travelers Championship, day 2 of the tournament. All the fun continuing in Cromwell.
Fox 61's Brent Harden live at the TBC River Highlands. So, Brent, how's this next day going? How were the crowds?
Yeah, big crowds actually today. Jen, hi Ben, hello everyone. Yeah, it could have been a lot worse out here weather-wise today, but again, we got lucky. The rain held off for the most part, stayed mostly dry most of the day, and the players were able to play easily through what rain we did get. Had some heavier downpours late here in the afternoon and the early evening, but they would literally pass through in about 2 minutes, so not really disruptive at all. The fans took it all in stride. It was a packed day here at the TPC as far as fans go. They were filling up the stands and filling up the fan zone. Let's take a look at the leaderboard now. Tonight, the players making their moves, I should say, in round 2 of the Travelers Championship, trying to qualify for moving day, as they call it. Denny McCarthy followed his Thursday round of 60 with a 65 today to stay atop the Travelers Championship leaderboard at 15 under par, but he's got company. Keegan Bradley also at 15 under right now, and the two of them set a 36-hole course record with that score. Now, if you're a military veteran and you'd like to come out here, I want to give you a really good tip here. All military veterans can bring their whole family to TPC River Highlands for this tournament completely free of charge. This is part of the annual Veterans Appreciation Program. The area providing free food and drink to all veterans and their families, as well as a way to say thank you for your service to our country. Veterans are able to watch the action on the greens anywhere on the course or in the Patriots Outpost. That's an exclusive area set aside just for service members and their guests. And some veterans say this is an act of kindness that certainly will not go unnoticed.
Even just wearing a hat, so many people have thanked me for my service, and that's a wonderful thing too. I really appreciate all of it.
Now, any acting or retired service member receives a free ticket good for the entire Travelers Week, along with free tickets for the whole family. As we said, the Patriots Outpost will be open as well all the way through Sunday. All right, so we have day 2 of play at the Travelers Championship in full swing, and perhaps more than ever, there is a focus on family fun. So yeah, the best players in the world are here, but it's also game on off the course. And this year, the team at the Travelers Championship has more than doubled the size of the fan zone, which had been a smaller venue in previous years due to pandemic protocols. And specifically at the Chipping Challenge in the fan zone, they are raising money for the Hole in the Wall Gang Camp, which is certainly a great thing to raise money for. So, you know, there are a lot of traditions out here at Travelers, and coming up, we're going to renew one of ours, the annual interview/putting challenge with Attorney Director Nathan Grube and Andy Bissett and our Fox 61's Jim Altman. This began all the way back in 2006. So for now, I'm going to send it back to you.
We've seen some pretty good golf in years past with that putting competition.
Yes, we have. Jordan. Oh, you're talking about the.
No, with Jimmy, of course. The real competition.
The real competition.
The real tournament. Still ahead here.